So, Shona, how do you feel about the outcome of this SitLie law?
Oh, I think it's hideous. I think it's a constitutional problem. You know, it's a human rights issue and it's a constitutional problem.
It's something we shouldn't have even voted on.
Absolutely not. I think it's something that the courts can strike down. I think it's targeting for arrest the poorest of the poor. And, you know, that in essence would be unconstitutional to say that one caste of people can be targeted for arrest.
And people sitting down for the ball game when it's a corporate, when it's something corporate, then they can sit down. Which, let's face it, the corporations have taken over almost every branch of government we have. You know, the Environmental Protection Agency is run by corporations. You know, and on and on and on. You know, and so we become the United Corporations of America.
Oh, absolutely. And when you do that, you know, when you go all the way corporation and you have no community aspect, there's a huge problem.
Well, we've got a bunch of fact-starved people out there that the media is responsible for starving them of facts, and they know they're starved of facts, but they're numbed by all the you know, the pretty things they're shown. You know.
Well, it's the dumbing down.
It's propaganda. Yeah.
It's the dumbing down of America. You know, it's just like they speak to us as if we're like maybe in third grade and really can't understand the implications or the legal, just the legal history of America, the good parts and the bad parts. So, I mean, I think this law will be overturned in the courts by an intelligent part of the judicial system will be able to see through this. And I heard, and maybe you can check up on this, that a few law students from Hastings are working on overturning it. Have you heard anything about that?
I want to. I want to hear more things like that.
Right?
No, sorry.
Well, how do you feel about this law?
I think this is terrible. I mean, I think that, you know, Shona was saying we're losing our commons, and
we're losing our soul.
Our soul. But I mean, the corporations, you know, can provide places for people to sit, but you can't sit in the public commons. That doesn't make any sense at all. And you know, we're talking about the media. Well, I mean, the media is really owned by the corporations. So
is the library. The library is owned by the corporation. So all the information we check out of the library has to be okay with the corporations.
Well, I mean, ultimately, you know, we need to resume our own public control, and that's the hard project.
Take back control.
Absolutely.
Take control. And the internet's a really good way to do that.
It absolutely is, yes.
If you can afford it.
And the one good thing about the library is at least it gives you a little bit of access to the internet when you don't have other resources, but certainly it's not very much. And there are other resources that exist, but there's not a lot for people that don't have money to be able to use the internet.
So, do you have any personal plans to combat this, you know, on SitLie? Like me, I'm going to start sitting on the sidewalk more,
yeah.
And I might even take naps there now when it's not raining.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that if I'm walking and I need to sit down,
and play dominoes,
then I don't feel like I need to go buy something to sit down. So you know, I don't think that anything is really changed.
Buy something and you can sit down.
Right. You buy a cup of coffee, sure you can sit down, but I don't feel like I don't have the luxury right now, certainly, and you shouldn't have to. Yeah.
1/3 of the homeless population are veterans, so we can send people somewhere else, but they can't sit here in America. That's a little bit weird.
We can send them off to fight for our country, but they can't come back and sit down.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I find that really weird and alarming. And I didn't even go as far as petrifying, you know?
I'm a veteran of the United States Army. And I'm really, really, really shocked and offended by this SitLie thing. I guess it means that if I walk my dog and he gets a little winded, a little tired, and he takes a rest like he's doing right now, and I stop with him, I'm breaking the law. I could be fined or jailed.
And they'll shoot your dog.
Yeah, then they'll put him to freaking sleep. It's wrong.
Oh, they'll shoot him on
There
the
is
spot.
something wrong. Something wrong. And I'm offended, and I'll do my best to see what we can do to overturn this ridiculous law. You can't stop. You got to keep moving. What is this? I just don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. My name is Warren Wolf, and I'm going to do my best to see what I can do to overturn this crap. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Down to earth. Dogs too.
My name is David Wagner, and I think the SitLie law is an awful, ridiculous, outrageous, absurd law. And I don't think there's much more to be said about it. The people who think that that's a good idea have no idea of what it's like to be poor or homeless or have no other place to go. And the lack of empathy and compassion is shocking and revolting.
How do you feel about this horrible law, Greg?
Well, I tell you what, if they think that the citizens of San Francisco are going to just stand around, made it funny, stand around and take something that really must have been misunderstood or miswritten, I think they need to think again.
Preamble to the Declaration of Independence, you are ensured vaguely the right to the pursuit of happiness. That's a very interesting statement, the pursuit of happiness. In other words, you don't have the right to be happy, and they're not saying that you're ever going to attain this happiness, but you got the right to chase it, right? Isn't that what it says in the preamble to the Declaration of Independence? And as a street musician who's been sitting in my hometown of San Francisco for 50 years on the street playing my guitar, I feel that that is my pursuit of happiness. I am happy to sit there and play my guitar.
San Francisco Food Not Bombs. That San Francisco Food Not Bombs has a long history of fighting SitLie and also fighting for the right to serve public meals in San Francisco in public places.
And they're still doing it.
And so San Francisco Food Not Bombs, all 5 chapters are coming out 100% in opposition of SitLie, and we will continue to serve food in defiance of the law if it does end up being enacted.
Good on you.
Very much believe in the human right to sit and rest nearly any place you're not in the way. I don't believe a space in the sidewalk means you're in the way, unless you're near a fire hydrant and they got to get to the hose. If someone needs to sit down, they could have a stroke if they don't. If someone needs to sit down, they might get very ill, they might fall down and injure themselves, they might injure others falling down. If someone needs to rest, that's their conscious adult decision, and it's up to no one to tell them no, unless you're there for 10 hours, really being an obstruction. You have a right to sit and rest, period. It's a human right. The United Nations should be on this, because it's a human right to rest.
You know, they talk about America's supposed to be justice for all. Where's the justice for all? Who was this attack on? On the homeless? You know, totally. We have chess tables in San Francisco. So the no SitLie means there's no more chess tables on Market Street. There's no more people can't sit and play music. Things that they've done all their life. What do they do next?
Sit in your cubicle.
How do you tell a guy who's been playing his guitar for 30 years on the block to say you can't play anymore, you can't exist anymore, you can't eat in this life, you can only eat in jail, or you could be... Where's our existence? We all come into the world as we are. No one asks to be what color they are. Everybody comes in, we all got to eat and survive. Some people, it's a way of life for them. It's not justice for all. So definitely it's no or no. This is a communist law put into effect. And it's not freedom and justice for all. Where's the freedom and where's the justice?
Well, it's a fascist law.